Hey, One World Entertainment, and Superman hasn't even come out yet, and James Gunn is already talking about, yeah, you guessed it, and you've seen it on the thumbnail and the title, Superman 2. Yeah, we're already going in that direction. He's also going to do the exact same mistake that Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel, if this is confirmed to be actually happening the way he wants it to happen, which is, you've already guessed it, yeah, he's already teasing a Batman team up for the world's finest. Now, the way it should realistically be done is you should get at least 2 solo Superman movies. Then you should at least get 2 solo Batman movies. Then you team them up. And then you get your 2 to 3 solo Wonder Woman movies. Then you add her into the mix and you get the Trinity. That's how you realistically should be doing it. But no, they're jumping the gun again and going, oh yeah, we've plans and we're already thinking of putting Batman in it. It's like, why? Why would you even do that? Why would you even say that out loud? But let's have a look at this anyway. Because look, remember and take all of this into account. Nothing's confirmed right now. He's just thinking about it. It's not the case of he's actually saying this is happening right now. But that's why I also said if this is to be believed and stuff. But if they do succeed with Superman and they just get the green light to go ahead with everything, the idea to immediately put Batman in a Superman sequel is already a colossal mistake. Just look at the reaction already for putting all of these characters already in the first Superman movie. But let's have a look anyway. So it's saying James Gunn is already thinking beyond Superman, and it might involve the Dark Knight. While promoting the upcoming DC reboot, Gunn teased that the next chapter in the Man of Steel may not be a traditional sequel, hinting instead at the potential rumours of a world's finest team-up with Batman. When asked by Entertainment Weekly if he's already thinking about a Superman sequel, Gunn replied, "What I'm working on in some way, I mean, yeah. But is it a straight up Superman sequel? I would say not necessarily." So that was his comment, hinting, oh, they're talking about doing this already again. So that carefully worded response has fans speculating that Gunn isn't working on a Superman 2, but something bigger. Possibly a Batman crossover in the form of the World's Finest. In the comics, World's Finest is the long-running title pairing Superman and Batman as allies rather than rivals, as Zack Snyder did with BVS. It's often used when the two icons team up to take on threats too big for one hero to handle, something the new DCU could use to build momentum after Superman launches. So again, you're taking into account there, they're even throwing James Gunn under the bus here with this article saying, he made them fight each other and blah blah blah. The one thing, and I always say it, and it has to be really kind of hammered home here, is everyone blames Zack Snyder for jumping the gun. That he was like, okay, Man of Steel, we're doing the next one, but we're immediately doing the team up of Batman, Superman, we're going to throw Wonder Woman in there, and we're even going to do the death of Superman in there. So we're going to put like 2 to 3 comic stories in one movie. That was not his idea. He originally wanted to do Man of Steel 2. It was Warner Brothers at the time who went, no, you gotta put Batman in the movie. And he was pushing back against that, and then they were like, no, put Batman in the movie. And then they also said, now after you put him in it, put Wonder Woman in there. And then of course Snyder got done with it and decided, we'll put in the death of Superman and all that crap. But the original idea to put Batman in that movie was not a Zack Snyder decision. That was a Warner Brothers decision. So, I'm not going to throw Zack Snyder under the bus for that decision. That was out of his hands. That was Warner Brothers. This, however, is very much a James Gunn decision, because now, as you can see, his response isn't that he's talking about putting Batman in there. It's the fans and stuff are speculating, oh my god, he's going to do that. That is probably, though, what he is planning to do. Like, it would make all the sense in the world, because clearly he cannot do standalone movies. And what I mean by that is take one character and focus on the one character. He clearly has to keep filling all of it. It has to be an ensemble piece. We've seen that with pretty much all of his movies. It can't just be Superman. Like, why is this first movie not just Superman? Why is it Superman and the Engineer and Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and Metamorpho and Ultraman and Rick Flag Sr. and so on and so on? It should just focus on Superman. And if you immediately, and with the backlash that came with, why have you stuffed this movie filled with all these other characters? If you immediately go, our sequel to Superman is going to be a team up again, and this time with Batman and stuff, you're just going to piss people off. And everyone is going to look at you, point the finger and say, you're making the exact same mistake they did with Man of Steel. In fact, there's no getting around that. You will be looked at and said, oh, you're just doing the BVS again. Rather than build the franchise, build these characters, establish their stories, establish who they are, what kind of world they're in and stuff like that. Rather than giving us their solo outings where they can fight their enemies, you know, where we could see the new Batman for the DCU face the likes of it. I would assume they'd have to throw the Joker in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Gunn just immediately wants the Joker in there, but the Riddler or Mr. Freeze or Red Hood or, you know, Deathstroke, all these people, rather than us just getting those type of movies and Superman facing the likes of Lex Luthor and all these people, which he should only be facing Lex Luthor in this movie. You shouldn't be having to face Rick Flag Sr. and the Engineer and bloody Ultraman and all this crap, and where he could be facing all these other threats like a Zod and stuff like that. Instead, they're immediately going to, let's just stick all these characters together already again. Can it work? Of course it could work. It's just a case of, why are you doing it so quickly? Think of how they did Marvel in the beginning. Realistically, now of course, you have to actually remove Disney and stuff from the equation. And pretty much Kevin Feige could, yeah, he was there as a producer, but that was it. You know, everyone forgets that Ike Perlmutter was really the guy pulling the strings. But you had Iron Man. How did Iron Man end? Setting up Avengers. Did the next movie for Iron Man be him with Captain America? No. You still got an Iron Man 2. Then you got the Avengers. And then the third Iron Man movie was the aftermath of what happened in that movie. To jump immediately from your first story into the mad build-up crossover crap, yeah, you're just muddying the water, and everyone's already confused with what you're doing because you've put all these characters in. You've announced all this stuff that now seemingly isn't happening. You're bringing characters back that's from the previous universe, saying they're not from that universe, but clearly they are from that universe. It's just, you're muddying the water, and you've barely jumped into the pool at this stage. So, again, this is just speculation at this stage, but he is already talking about Superman 2. So, let's see what happens, and let's see what happens if the first one can even be a success. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.